Let me talk to you about something that you will really love, okay? I want to have a conversation with you about single member LLC business credit card. How do you get a higher limit you need and deserve? Okay? It's very important because a lot of folks want to get the limit that they need and deserve. But the question is, how do you go about that? So stick around till the end of today's conversation.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower with a stinging kind of beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about single member LLC business credit card. How do you get the high limit you need and deserve? Okay, very important. So here are the steps, boss. I want you to look on the screen right now. Here are the steps. The first thing is, let's talk about legit business. You got to make sure you have a legit business. I don't care. A lot of folks walk around and say, I have a single member LLC, and they say this very proudly. Okay, I got you. You got a business, but is your business legit, boss? Talk to me about that. It's not just about walking around and just telling people you have a legit business. And when you ask people about a business credit, a business card rather, they are incapable of providing one. Okay, but more seriously though, when we talk about having a legit business, we're speaking about choosing a business name, choosing your business address. I don't care if you're working from home, you work in your basement, but make sure that you are having a complete separate business address. How can you do that? Trying to have something called virtual address. Okay, you can work from home, but for serious business correspondence, you want actually to spend $5 a month extra to have a virtual business address. This is very important. Okay, get your business phone number if you can. Don't try to actually mingle your personal numbers, your home numbers, your landline with your business phone number. No, boss, we don't want that. You want to create your business entity. Okay, you have a single member LLC. Okay, do you have a certificate of good standing? Talk to me about that. Okay, have you filed the proper articles of incorporation? Okay, this is important. Do you have an agent? In other words, do you have a registered service, a registered agent? Very important. Okay, you want to get licenses and permits in the industry you're in, if that applies to you. Okay, and you want to request an employer identification number for your business from the IRS. Okay, so don't you just tell me you have a single member LLC and you have no EIN. Open a business bank account. Consider getting a business credit card to use for business purposes, which is actually the object of today's conversation. Set up your books. We're talking about accounting. Okay, get your DUNS number if possible from Dun and Bradstreet. Trying to establish business credit. Okay, create a website if possible. Register your business with online services. So the whole idea is to have a legit business, boss. The second thing I want to talk to you about is segregation. Segregation. You need to segregate your personal affairs from your business's affairs. This is important. We see a lot of people, they have a single member LLC and they have so when you look at their books, when you look at their accounting, you don't see any separation at all. They mingle everything. They use their personal credit cards for business purposes, and they use if they have a business credit card, they use it for personal transactions. What's up with that? That's just crazy. We got to stop that. Okay, we got to stop that because the whole thing is you have to understand that when you are having a conversation about the single member LLC business credit card, the credit card issuer is looking at your accounting, is looking at your transactions, and is saying, hey, listen, this person is mingling everything, and we don't want that. Okay, so if you have an EIN, because everything starts with having an EIN. When you have an EIN, you are able to establish your business entity type, okay, and try to open a business credit card, or try to open a business bank account. at your credit union or bank, and that will help you. You know why? That will help you come tax time. That will help you for your accounting, okay? And that will actually help you also establishing a pattern within the business where hey, listen, I'm generating this revenue every month. And this has nothing to do with my personal expenses because the business is working. If you are an independent contractor, okay, let's say you work by yourself. Apparently, this is basically the definition of a single member LLC anyway, right? So we have seen in our research that the best practice is to pay yourself a salary. Boss, did you hear that? I want you to actually pay yourself. Okay, if you have a business, if you have a single member LLC, you want to actually pay yourself. In other words, you want to actually have a complete accounting for your remuneration, your compensation. Very important. Okay, don't you try to always draw into the business like you actually draw cash from the business bank account. No, pay yourself a salary and separate receipts. Okay, identify when you are using personal items for business purposes. Okay, we got to be in a situation where we are exercising more control, okay? And if you have other members in the business, well, you have a single member LLC, so you are by yourself, but you work with others, you partner with others, okay? So talk to them about your accounting, your internal controls, making sure that they understand that, okay? Remember, it's important to separate personal and business finances because there are legal implications you got to think about. You have personal asset exposure. You have bookkeeping and tax headaches. Yeah. And you have to think about business lending effects and also general sanity preservation. Very important. Boss, I'm talking to you about the requirements. You have to familiarize yourself with the requirements of the specific card you want to apply for. Okay, if you have a single member LLC, you have gazillions of business credit cards that you can apply for. But don't you just apply randomly? No. What's up with that? And the funny thing is, hey, listen, what? Oh, Erica Smith? Oh, okay. Very nice. I'm very happy to. Okay, she's a police officer in St. Paul, Minnesota. Okay, that's kind of good. Okay. Well, her question is about the requirements. Well, the requirements are diverse. Yeah. Well, this is kind of good that we have a police officer who has a single member LLC. That's kind of good. I mean, that's wonderful. I don't know what she does on the side, but maybe she has a part-time job at the police. Okay, that's pretty good. Listen, I love your hustle. I respect that, by the way, and God bless you for all the work you're doing. Okay, so what I'm talking to you about is familiarizing yourself with the requirements of the specific card you apply for. So when we talk about business credit card requirements. Okay, and this is for you also, Erica Smith. You want to think about your business's legal name. You want to think about your contact information for your business. Yeah, the industry type. Okay, so you have to be very, very specific because credit card issuers like to monitor credit risk by industry. Okay, and when we talk about your business entity or legal structure, you want to put LLC because you are an LLC. Okay, time in business and number of employees because right. Time in business it's very simple. Number of employees, you put one. Okay, if you are filling the application form, you put one because you are by yourself. Your federal tax ID is your EIN if you have one. If not, you put your social. Okay, and they will ask you your annual business revenue and estimated monthly spend. You put the right number, your total annual income for the business. Okay, and they also ask you for a legal name, contact information, and social security number. You put the right information here also. Your personal credit history, they will ask you for that also. And so the whole thing, and in some cases they will actually want you to pledge a personal guarantee. In other words, if you're a single member LLC, the card issuer understands that there is some kind of even if you separate the business from your personal, you're still one entity anyway. You know why? Because comes tax time, you actually apply for you actually report your income on your Schedule C. Okay, that's what it is. Because for tax purposes, the IRS looks at you as a one person anyway. Okay. I want to talk to you about your FICO score. Boss, I'm still having a conversation with you about single members LLC business credit card. Okay, how do you get the high limits you need and deserve? You need to think about your FICO score, and you want to keep a decent personal credit score. Okay, it's very important. And the whole thing here is that you have to understand that you are doing this for yourself, but also for your business. That's very important, okay? And the whole thing is that, pay attention to how you improve, first of all, how you check your FICO score. We have covered this on another show. You got to be in a situation where you check your FICO score, and then when you actually, how you improve it gradually over time. You have to improve it continually, okay, over time. So you check it with Credit Karma or NerdWallet or Wallet Hub, or if there is a website called annualcreditreport.com where you can actually every year check your credit score, or if you are denied for a credit card or loan, okay. But also your credit union or bank might have a system where you can check your FICO score. So what I'm trying to say here is that it is very possible to be in a situation where you check your FICO score every week or every month, or every quarter or every 2 weeks. But every quarter is not good. I mean, you don't want to check your credit score every quarter. That's not good, because we have, again, be in a situation where we monitor your credit score, our credit scores, continually and often. Okay, so you want to think about checking your FICO score, but you also want to make sure you always pay your credit accounts on time, boss. This is important. You have to pay your credit accounts on time. No question about it. No excuses. No if buts. Don't you try to stutter when I ask you, do you pay your credit accounts on time? I'm not sure. Hey. We have to be in a situation where we pay our credit accounts on time all the time. No question about it. Don't you try to razzle dazzle me with like excuses. I don't care. If you're in that category, if you don't pay your credit accounts on time, I don't want you to talk to me. Don't you try to confuse me with like excuses. Okay, your FICO score doesn't need excuses to grow, and I want your FICO score to grow. That's what I care about, and I don't care if you hit my ass, whatever. Listen. You have to pay your credit accounts all the time. Trying to lower your credit utilization ratio. That's what's up. That is what's up. Okay, and the whole thing starts with always living beyond your means. Okay, if you're having problem paying your credit card and your credit card balances and loans and whatnot, it's because you are living beyond your means, or in other words, you have had some situation at work. There is an imbalance between your income and your expenses, and we gotta fix that. We have to fix that, boy. Oh boy. We gotta fix that. Okay, are you in that category? Are you in that situation? Talk to me. Okay, you want to take care of credit accounts that have been sent to collections. Yeah. Okay, optimize your account age, your credit mix, and credit inquiries also. Okay, so the whole thing is you want to be in a situation where you are fighting to always improve your FICO score. Let me talk to you now about card issuers. You need to search for institutions that issue business credit cards to single member LLCs. Now you have to understand, as a single member LLC, you are in a specific niche. So not all banks, not all credit unions actually issue business credit cards for single member LLC. So you got to do a little bit of digging here, okay? It's really important to actually have this sort of conversation. So the whole thing here is that you need to understand that, okay, do you want to apply for a business credit card at a bank, at a credit union, or are you looking for a startup friendly card issuer like Brex, Ramp, and Divi? Okay, now the whole thing is, if you want to go to startup friendly card issuers like Brex, Ramp, and Divi, you have to change the status of your single member LLC, because they don't actually issue credit cards for entities your type. No, you got to be a multi-member LLC or a corporation. Okay, if you're a single member LLC, they are thinking that you are actually a sole proprietorship, and for tax and business purposes, you are one person. You are actually like an individual. You're not a business. Again, I'm talking about from tax purposes, but also from a business point of view for those card issuers, those specific card issuers, Brex, Ramp, and Divi. So the whole thing here is that you have to actually go back to the bank where you currently do your transactions, either personally or business-wise. Okay. So my question to you, boss, where do you currently bank at? Where do you bank at? Do you bank at all? If you don't bank, I want your ass to start banking. Okay, we have to stop the whole. I'm just taking care of my business without banks. People look at banks as some kind of evil, whatever. No, they have no idea. Folks who actually think banks are evil, they have no idea of how much goodness banks can bring to their lives. Okay, banks are not your enemy. Banks are not your enemy. So if you have problems, if you have a problematic check systems record, I want you to, we have a video on that thing where you can fix your check system and actually start getting back into the whole banking world. Okay, banks will allow you to establish some kind of pattern that will help you improve your net worth if you know how to actually use them. Okay, so there are pros and cons of applying at banks or credit unions. Okay, you got to think about the requirements. You have to think about your LLC needs, what kind of spending you have before applying. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you about single member LLC business credit card. How do you actually get the limit, the high limits you need and deserve? Okay. The next thing I want you to think about is your bank. You need to see if your current bank issues business credit cards to single member LLCs. I started speaking about it in the last section, but here I want to dig a little deeper. Okay. I want to dig a little deeper. It's very important because it's always great to apply at your bank. There's something we call relationship banking. In other words, you actually exit the whole transactional realm, the whole transactional context, and you start building a relationship with the bank. And when we talk about building a relationship with the bank, we're not speaking about building a relationship with a corporation. We're speaking about building a relationship with the actual people who work there. People gotta have to know you by first name. Okay, they're calling you on a first name basis. Okay, you are speaking to them. You are actually keeping them informed about the revenue, about the trends in your business, so that when you are ready to apply for a credit card or a loan or whatnot, you know what? They already have the info. They have been talking to you all along, and they are more likely to qualify you, to approve you with the higher limits. Okay, and it's important to actually make sure your personal MPR is strong. Also, your personal multi-product relationship. Okay, we're speaking about deposit accounts, not debts, not liabilities, deposit accounts. We're speaking about checking accounts. We are speaking about savings accounts. We are speaking about CDs, certificate of deposits. We're speaking about what? We're speaking about IRAs, individual retirement accounts. We are speaking about MMAs, money market accounts, and whatnot. So you have a large constellation of products that will actually buttress your NPR with the bank. Okay, because the bottom line is what? The bottom line is that you can show cash inflows at the personal level. And that's what I care about. And that's what the credit card issuer cares about too. Okay. Make sure that you have a clean history of NSF. Actually, no history of NSFs. Okay. Non-sufficient funds. So make sure you have no overdrafts. And if you do, make sure you want to keep the number as low as possible, very low. Okay. And if you are thinking about your bank, it's better to apply for a business credit card, a single member LLC business credit card at a branch if the bank issues that kind of credit card. Okay, there are a lot of benefits for applying for a credit card, a business credit card at a branch. Okay, you have the opportunity to talk to people. You have the opportunity to gauge your odds of approval. You have the opportunity to learn more about the business credit card you are applying for. Let's talk now about the paperwork. Boss, you're still there? Auntie, hey, sis, you there with me? Okay, listen, I love you. I'm very happy you're here with us. And uncle, I love you. I welcome you. Okay, pa, grandpa, dad, mom, are you there? Okay, I want to talk to you about the paperwork. You need to gather your paperwork and apply. Oh yeah, if you are talking about single member LLC business credit card, there is a whole preparation, a whole planning that goes in the whole. You need to have a planning. You need to have a planning routine. Okay, so when we talk about gathering your paperwork and apply, we are speaking about, for example, making sure that you have your revenue. Okay, your revenue information, your P&L, your profit and loss. Okay, make sure that you answer the revenue question conservatively. Do not lie on the credit card application, and don't overestimate your revenue. Okay, and because make sure that the bank or credit union might ask you for verification, and you don't want to be in a weird situation where you can't actually verify anything, right? And be patient. Okay, when you apply, be patient. Okay, play the waiting game. It's always important to stick with the truth. I talked about that before. In anything you do, when you apply for a credit card or a loan, anytime you deal with the financial institution or all kinds of institutions anyway, you want to stick with the truth and trying to space out your applications. Okay, don't apply for a single member LLC business credit card every month. No way, Jose. We don't want that. Okay, boss, we don't want that. Are you doing that right now? Are you doing that right now? Answer the question. And don't you stutter. Don't you try to razzle dazzle me. Answer the question. Are you applying for credit cards randomly, like crazy all the time? You got to stop that. You have to stop that. Okay. Space out your credit card application. So the bottom line is, and by the way, if you have bad credit, you can still qualify for a single member LLC business credit card. Yes. So the bottom line is what? The bottom line is that you got to be in a situation where you are constantly building credit for your single member LLC. Okay. And it doesn't matter whether you have bad credit or fair credit. You want to be in a situation where you are continually improving your FICO score and you're continually researching the best business credit cards for you. And once you find the right one, I want you to apply. And it's always better to have a relationship, a banking relationship with a credit card issuer. Thank you so much for your attention, boss. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about single member LLC business credit card, how to get the high limit you need and deserve. So I spoke to you about having a legit business, segregation of business affairs versus personal affairs. Okay, the requirements of the card, we spoke about that. Okay, and we also spoke about your FICO score, making sure that you have the right FICO score. And we talk about the card issuers that you need to search for, your bank, and the paperwork needed. Thank you so much for your attention. I will speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.